Ladies and gentlemen, listener of all ages, while this episode might not receive an explicit tag, it definitely leans a little bit more family unfriendly. Listener discretion is advised. Keep the little ones in the carpool away.
This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Hello, Baconsale. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game. The episode you are doing pits each host against some of the deadliest horror movie villains and creatures in history, and you must decide if you have what it takes to survive. Think of it like a tiering episode. There is only one catch. You cannot survive every match. Look around you, Joel, Kent, and Zack. Know that I'm not lying. Better hurry. Live, die, or get slightly maimed. Make your choice.
Oh, jeez.
Guys, that was creepy. Whoever said that, that was creepy.
It was really creepy. And how's his voice? Because
so
my voice hurts because of that.
I don't know. It's crazy. But
It's weird.
Yes. But welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Zack. I'd like to thank you for listening to our last episode, our Irrational Fears episode.
Yeah, and thank you, everyone, for participating in the way that you did.
Thanks for playing along. If you felt insulted, I'm sorry, but fears, man, it's okay. Sometimes they're valid.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get validated in my fears, like Jesse Peterson, who said, the scorpion thing is not irrational. Thank you. Granted, it's in Arizona, but if you leave anything on the ground, those things will find their way in. And that's what I'm afraid of, man. Goes on to say, I ended up with a scorpion in my pants with me because I left them on the ground overnight and just put them on in the morning without shaking them out. We do have scorpions in Utah. Oh, great. Maybe not as far north as we are, but at least to North Salt Lake. I'm further south than North Salt Lake. Mm-hmm. That's fine. My irrational fear, being serial killed. Well, I mean...
Serial killed?
I don't know if it's an irrational
I've never heard it put that way, but like...
Yeah. Don't serial kill me. I don't like that.
And I have to shout out, using the power of Duttler science. Crew Duttler ranked the irrationality of the fears with fingernail polish coming out on top. According to Duttler Science.
I actually love the diagram that he made.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Great.
Yeah, it was on Twitter, if you want to check that out.
Yes, at Crew Duttler. And then Jonathan Vaskar just simply said, I am now scared of podcasts.
Podcastophobia.
There we go.
It happens. Yeah. Also, I want to announce we are not announcing the winners of our October 2024 giveaway on this episode.
Right.
That will be next episode. We'll be announcing that. So keep an ear out for that, and also keep an eye on our social media channels. But that's not what we're talking about today.
What are we talking about today, Zack?
Well, he's back.
Stabby, stabby, slashy, slashy.
What was that noise? Were you washing a window?
Marmalade.
Yeah, marmalade. Thank you very much.
We're talking about slashers, man.
Yeah. So we've talked about slashers before on several episodes. Mm-hmm. And so we want to get into specifics, right? Like we want to talk about your main ones, your Freddy Kruegers, your Michael Myers, your Jason Voorhees. And we've dedicated episodes to these guys. However, we want to see how we do in a fight with them. And maybe not like we're asking for the fight, but we're in danger.
Yes. And this isn't a tournament where they're fighting against each other. This is us, Kent, Joel, and Zack, in the room with these people.
Are we working together? Are we fighting these monsters together?
It's separate.
Oh, so like I'll be right back sort of thing. And then
it's like we go in a room, each separate room, and then there's someone waiting for us.
Why would we
there.
do that? We've seen too many scary movies. We would never go on our own.
I know.
Listen, one time, I got to say, personal thing.
Yeah.
I feel bad about this. The boys at the barbershop know what's up. One time, there was a client in there who was like a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
And I was like, this might turn into a dangerous situation. So I went to the gas station and got a soda. Not kidding.
And you were safe because
Are the other guys okay?
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we want to see how we would do. And granted, from any scary movie monster or slasher, we'd probably get the axe. Sometimes literally every single time. But there's going to be sometimes some creatures that we think we could beat in a fight. And sometimes
it's like that whole thing of like, ask any guy, you think you could defeat a bear?
Right.
They're going to think about it for a bit, right?
Yeah.
So we have here 21 different creatures, monsters, villains from horror movies. And we have 3 tiers that we'll be working with. So if we give one of these creatures a tier 1, it means I'm toast.
Yeah.
Like I'm toast. I'm not
almost immediately. Like we're the first one in the movie to get it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And then if we give it a tier 2, it means, you know what? I could survive. Barely.
Like barely.
I'm probably maimed.
Like losing a lot of blood.
And some limbs.
That's when the sirens come up and they pull up and we're still barely alive at the
final
end.
girl
That's
kind of
us.
thing. Yeah.
That's tier 2.
And then tier 3 is, I could take them.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be too much of a problem. It might be
Like,
scary.
I could take him we'd be scared, but we're not really getting hurt there.
Yeah, or maybe you get hurt a little. Like,
Are you guys good fighters?
You get one of those cool cuts on your forehead
I
where
want
you
one of
still
those.
look awesome.
Yeah.
Have you met me?
Yeah,
Am I
I've
a
met you
good
lots.
fighter?
We've never fought before.
I'm from West Valley, dude.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
I'm a terrible fighter.
Well, and here's the thing with these scenarios. I mean, first of all, this isn't like, oh, well, I'm never going to go camping in Crystal Lake, and so this won't affect me ever. It's like, no, we have tripped the wire, as it were.
Yeah.
We have tripped the wire in whatever realm they're in, and they are now after us. It's also like, oh, this person wouldn't touch me because, I'm not going elsewhere
I'm
with
nice.
anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, no, that
you're in danger.
You're in
So we'll
danger.
say, snap your fingers. You are in the situation in which this, whatever it is on our list that we're
Yes.
going to talk about, is actively trying to get you.
Yes.
Yes.
And we want you to play along at home where you put them being tier 1, I'm toast, tier 2 being I'd survive, but barely, and tier 3 being I could take them. I think this will be a good way to see how each of our egos are feeling tonight.
All right, first up, we have Annie Wilkes from Misery.
From Misery. And if you know what Misery is, I have the plot synopsis. After a famous author is rescued from a car crash by a fan of his novels, he comes to realize that the care he's receiving is only the beginning of a nightmare of captivity and abuse.
So she's a severely mentally ill, demented, and obsessive nurse, if that didn't drive the point home.
Yeah.
She takes care of Paul, but at the same time tortures him in a way. She's very bipolar to the extreme.
Yes.
And I think that's the scary thing here is like you could be her best friend. She could be your best friend, but then the mood swings
Yeah.
are violent.
I also
She
think
is-
it's particularly terrifying because this is real. This is a real thing.
Yes.
This happens. Or, you hear variations of this type of thing happening.
The stalker fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. she's-
Or just like the mother who's making her child sick. Or,
So
ugh.
she has us captive. Are we injured or sickly?
We are in the scenario. We are James Caan.
we are James Caan, so we are injured.
Yeah.
Or at least, yeah.
Because she's not going after randos.
No.
I mean, maybe
she's
she
my-
really likes
she's my-
podcasters.
Baconsale, I'm your number one fan. Please,
No.
listener, do not comment. I'm your number one fan on this
Please
episode.
don't. That,
It'll just
no,
creep
it's
us
going to
out.
happen.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
I feel like in this scenario, I think Annie Wilkes is a tier 3.
You can take her.
I think I could take her. I think Paul, I mean, he was injured at the time, but he did eventually he took her out. Spoiler alert.
What happened to him along the way?
I don't want to talk about that part.
That feels like a tier 2 because he
hobble.
got pretty injured.
He is, but at the same time, the scenario would play out differently because I'm not Paul. You know what I mean? I'm in the scenario, but I could play it out differently. And also, we're going into this
It's us.
with the full knowledge of what we have now.
We've seen these movies?
That's the way we're going into it. This
Or at
is
least,
me.
and maybe not this movie in specific, but we've seen a lot of scary movies.
Yes.
Right?
Well, we have the knowledge about the specific character. I think that's how I'm going into it. I know she has a pretty fragile ego.
Mm-hmm.
I know that she doesn't like coarse language. I may say certain words like cockadoodie just to mess with her.
Geez, Joel, family friendly.
Yeah. And I know she has also a weakness for typewriters and fire. But that's beside the point. I think I could take her. So I'm going to say tier 3.
Zach, do you have an opinion on her?
I think that she's terrifying, and I'm toast.
You're toast?
With Annie Wilkes?
I can't give this a tier 1, but for the record, every single one of these is a tier 1. I'm toast on all of them.
Yeah.
But she's just a human.
But I think just on a technicality,
Wait, that means
I could take her.
you could take her?
I think on a technicality.
Wait, so now she's tier 3.
Knowing that, first of all, the actual answer is I'm toast on every single thing on this list.
Understandable.
Knowing that I have to play the game of Baconsale thing, I guess I could take her.
Okay.
You can?
You're going to go tier 2?
I am uniquely gifted to deal with this situation. Annie is going to be my best friend and know it and feel it. I am going to manipulate
Just as
her
manipulate as she
in
is.
every way I can. And granted, the mood swings will come because that's just who she is. But I will talk her down. She will be putty in my hands.
Oh.
And you know what? I won't even try to escape for a long time. It may be months. But when
You're going to write all those pages she's going to force you to write?
Yeah, and maybe I will even write stories for her. But eventually, I'll be able to take her easily.
Okay.
Little thumb stab in the eye.
Eee.
You know,
Not to get specific.
I mean, that's what happens in the movie. So we all say we could take her.
Yeah. Tier 3 all around.
Now we have Chucky.
From Child's Play. A dying serial killer transfers his consciousness to a popular kid's doll using voodoo.
Chucky is the walking and talking textbook example of a complete and utter psychopath with a complete inability to feel guilt, empathy, sympathy, regret, or remorse.
He's also a 2'5" plastic doll.
Now, don't let that stop you, Joel. You've
2'5"
seen Child's Play,
And I laugh every time they're struggling to get a 2'5" plastic doll.
I know you
off
watched
their
this
back.
edited,
Yes, I did.
but the deaths are creative and insane.
I'm mostly thinking about the first movie here.
Okay.
I hate that series, by the way.
Yeah, I know you do.
Save it for another season. I watched it, and once again, it's just hokey whenever the doll is attacking somebody. Don't get me wrong, Kent. Hiding under the bed with a knife. That's one
He's
thing.
small. He's sneaky.
Yeah, that terrifies me. The Achilles tendon thing really terrifies me. But I think I could take Chucky.
How are you going to take him?
How am I going to take him?
Yeah, what's his weakness?
Pick him up by the head.
Joel's gonna
swing him around a bit. Throw him in the fire.
I'm thinking kicking. Just start kicking.
He's made of plastic, and also if you shoot him,
he's been burned.
If you shoot him in the heart, he will die.
You have to shoot him through the heart. Rip him to shreds, maybe.
Yeah. Well, no, when he got thrown in the fire, too, he also did pretty much die. He was kind of just charred. We keep him in there a little longer.
Did you know that Chucky's basically Count Dracula and creates many other Chuckies? All the good guy dolls are Chucky.
All of them are?
All of them are. Chucky is coming after you at all times and will not stop. I'm going to go, this is a tier 2 for me. I would win this fight. Barely. I'm going to get stabbed about 37 times. I'm losing an Achilles tendon for sure.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. This is not one. I think I can eventually win, but not well. This is not going to be.
You'd win,
this
but
is
not well.
going to be pretty. And ultimately, I will be toast from the hospital bills.
That's true.
It's so true. And Joel, you think you're just, because here's the thing. Yeah,
I don't know who you
it's
guys are
a
saving
doll.
your tier 3s for, because this is literally a little plastic doll.
No. He's so violent
Blue eyes,
compared to a lot of
freckles,
these other
green
killers.
and red blue striped shirt with blue overalls, good guy logo on the front.
His body count is way too high.
He's I was going to say, he is smart.
Yeah, and he's
understand
tiny.
it. Foul-mouthed.
Yeah. There's lots of hiding places in your houses. In your houses, plural.
Yeah. I have multiple.
Sure.
Yes, but if I were put in the room and Chucky's after me, I think I could take him.
Okay.
I might get like a cut on the arm as I'm holding him by the leg.
Just a cut.
He's like,
I think
"Put
you're
me
losing.
down. Put me down.
You're losing a hand.
No.
For sure.
All I have to do is just hold him the right way, and he has no torso strength.
He's got a knife in his hands at all times.
Oh, it's barely there. Have you seen him try to grip a knife in the movies? It's so cheesy.
All right. Joel's feeling brave.
For these first two.
Now we have Dollface, Man in the Mask, and Pinup Girl.
From The Strangers. James Hoyt and Kristen McKay visit an isolated vacation home to enjoy some time together. However, they are in for a rude surprise when 3 masked assailants make their stay a nightmare.
So their agenda, their motive is basically to scare their victims for a while.
Yeah.
And kind of get them to a point where they're like, okay, you're scared enough. Now we're going to take you out. Or sometimes they don't.
So Man in the Mask has like a cloth bag over his head and like a blank expression drawn on it. Dollface has a big-eyed smiling woman with like blushing cheeks and pouty lips. And then Pinup Girl has wears a mask that has curly black hair and lipstick and pink eyeshadow and has blushed cheeks. Like they're just kind of creepy masks is what I'm saying.
They definitely are. I think the scary part here is we talked about irrational fears where you're in your cabin or a house and there is someone in the dark watching you and knowing your every move. However, I know my house or the place I'm staying in probably better than they do. Unless I'm in a cabin they know very
you're in
well.
the scenario, like Zach said. You're in the scenario. You're at that cabin.
So they'll
with
probably
Liv
know.
Tyler.
So they'll probably know all the hiding places. Is that what we're saying here?
Yeah. Well, no, they probably know better than you do if they're around that area.
They rely on theatrics.
They do.
You know, they want to scare you, and they generally come after you one by one.
Yeah, they don't really gang up, but there's 3 of them.
So there are 3.
And they don't.
Oh, there's 3 of them.
As far as I recall, they're not motivated by anything, right? They just like they were there
One of the creepiest lines in the whole movie is like, "Why are you doing this?" She's like, "Because you were home."
because you were home. Yeah, there's nothing motivating
It's
it
based
other
on the
than-
Manson family.
Yeah, they were there.
murders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: there are 3, but if you take one out, you then get their weapon. Right? Maybe you didn't have a weapon to start with,
Okay.
but then you get one weapon, and then you take one more out, and then another one.
What is this, a video game?
Yeah, kind of.
Looting?
So if anyone has seen the Strangers movies, this is like
There's only
this
one.
is
as far as
the
I'm
right.
concerned.
This is the example of the dumbest characters in scary movies.
Yeah.
In all 3, this is resounding. They make the worst decisions, and that is why they get killed. These guys are going down easy.
You think so?
All the way.
But Ken, there's 3 of them.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, one by one. I'm taking out Dollface first,
Okay.
then Pinup Girl, then Man in the Mask is the final boss. Done.
Are you asking the Man in Mask if he'll change his ways?
What do you think, Joel?
So these are just humans. These are young punks out looking for a very immoral thrill. But there's 3 of them, and I'm worried about my chances. Like one-on-one, sure, I could probably do that. But if there's 3 of them, I'm getting maimed. I'm getting stabbed at least once in the back.
Okay. But you will survive.
I'll survive.
I think you've seen too many scary movies to die in this instance.
I'm not going to follow a lot of the tropes they did in that movie.
Right.
And so I am going to end up prevailing, but I'll tell you what, it may be in the Liv Tyler method of like, they think I'm dead, but I'm not.
Okay.
So
that's cute.
And then you just snap
You're going to
up
wait him out
and scare
scream.
a boy.
Well, I mean, at the end when the police come.
Yeah.
And the missionaries come by. Remember that?
Yeah.
And they hand the
Yeah, it's so bizarre. But yes, I give
spoilers
I'm
for a
gonna
movie
say-
that I don't think.
Yeah, I'm giving this
amazing.
I'd survive, but barely.
Zach?
I've gone back and forth because I do think the 3-on-1 thing is something that I don't know that I could overcome. But there are things on this list that I could more not overcome. So I think I would survive, but barely.
Okay.
Tier 2 for me.
All right.
Now we have Dracula.
Dracula.
Count Dracula.
From Dracula. Here's the synopsis. He's Dracula. You know Dracula.
So his skills are supernatural strength, supernatural speed, shape-shifting, and psychic control.
He's got so much more than that. Like I looked at his. I was on,
there's a ton.
You're on Villains Wiki as well.
Yes, of course.
There's so many. But here's the thing about Dracula. Yes, vampire. Yes,
Yeah.
teeth. Yes, shape-shifting.
Like King Vampire, though.
Yeah. But here's what his weaknesses are. Crosses, garlic, sunlight, silver, cross to the heart. He can only enter spaces after being invited. Beheading also is not good for him. Fire, and being immersed in running water.
Do you think Dracula has a bad publicist? Like, there's so many weaknesses to Dracula.
Or a really good publicist.
Oh, like he's trying to like get us like...
He's like, oh yeah, he's totally fragile. Let him in your house. You can kill him.
Dracula, are you your own publicist?
Yes, I am. One publicist.
When did Dracula get Russian?
It's Romanian. It's very close.
Very cool.
Also, he can't come in the house unless he's invited. But granted, we're in danger, right?
In this
It's not like
scenario,
we're hiding in our room.
in this scenario, are we in our house or are we in Dracula's castle?
Are we on the boat?
Are we in
Oh,
Dracula's
if we're on
castle
the boat,
at Lagoon?
we're dead.
Yeah. We'll say we're not on the
The
boat.
Voyage of the Moon. No, I think this is like in his castle or in our home.
Zach, what do you
But
think?
he's in.
I think I got this, man.
Count Dracula. Hold on. Count Dracula.
Yeah, I got him.
There's one. Oh,
He
sorry.
can count. Yeah. First of all, I've been watching this dude on Sesame Street for years.
Yes.
Okay. I can handle him.
Wow.
Second of all, he is generally a type of person that I would avoid. Right? Like, I'm not going to have any beef with him. I'm not going to be anywhere near him. I'm good at avoiding people.
You don't have to have beef to have blood.
You
Zach.
just have to outlast him.
Until
And
the day comes.
so many versions of him, he moves so slow. No, I got him. Count
okay.
Dracula.
Here's how my scenario works
Okay, go
out.
on.
So in the scenario, he's already in, right?
Yeah.
He's in the house. He's trying to find me. All I do, grab a tent, zip it up, say, this is my dwelling. You can't come in unless you're invited. And I sleep there till the morning.
You just happen to have a tent. Mary Poppins.
I always have a tent. Always. No, I do. I've said this before. I think vampires are one of the most fragile creatures out there. I think there's many ways to kill him. Also, I do eat a lot of garlic on the regular. Fleas wouldn't touch me when I was on my mission. They
Is that a true story?
That's a true story. My companion got bit all over by fleas one night. They didn't touch me because I cooked
and you're over
chili the
there.
day before.
Okay, you're licking Domino's crust over there.
Yeah, no, I cook with garlic, and so that I think I'm going to be fine. He's not going to want me. So I say tier 3.
So I'm gonna get seduced by Dracula for sure. I've always kind of like.
This isn't Dracula's wives' kid.
Yeah, I've always related to Renfield in a way. I know I'd want to meet Dracula, and then I would kind of be like, "Oh, do you want me to work for you?" So I think I'm going
Wait, so
to.
hold on. Hold the phone.
Okay, go on.
You're seducing Annie Wilkes, but Dracula's seducing you. That's messed up.
I know that's messed up. I think I'm getting bit. I think he is drinking my blood.
You're turning?
He may not turn me, right? Because then he'd have to kill me and everything. But I think he's going to drink my blood and go, "Wow, you eat so much Haribo. Like, this is so sweet. This will give me diabetes." No, he's a stage actor, apparently. I think he's going to think of me as not such a savory snack, and he'll probably get annoyed by me because I will be like Renfield. I will survive because he has so many weaknesses, but I will get bit. So I think it's a tier 2 for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got a whole new look on you. Also, if you get bit, you know what that means, Kent. Zombies or vampires. It's the same scenario.
No, please don't.
I will off you.
You want to let me in?
No. It's my tent.
Wow. So you got nobody's toast yet on anything.
Well, let's see what the next one.
Next one, we have Freddy Krueger.
From Nightmare on Elm Street. Teenager Nancy Thompson must uncover the truth concealed by her parents after she and her friends become targets of the spirit of a serial killer with a bladed glove in their dreams, in which if they die, it kills them in real life.
His skills are omnipotence, superhuman strength, endurance, nightmare control, and reality warping. This is Freddy Krueger, guys.
Yes, Freddy Krueger. He's burnt up face, red and green sweater, knives on his hands, not Edward Scissorhands, the other one.
Now,
Smart looking hat.
Yeah.
Now we all need to sleep, right? We may find it.
Listen, I love sleep.
I
So
know.
you're like, guys, I'm gonna take a nap. Zach, please don't.
No, I'm done. I'm right away.
Seriously,
I'm tired.
Yeah, that is the problem with me too. Is I look forward to sleep so much, and every time I see these movies, and they're like, "I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to drink, take caffeine pills. I'm going to exercise." I'm like, that sounds horrible.
Nope. I'm done. I'm toast.
Okay, but when you guys have dreams that are vivid, are you ever controlling what happens in them, or are you
Yes.
a passenger in your dreams?
No, I can control them sometimes.
Really?
If I realize I'm dreaming, I can start manipulating the dream, and it's fun.
Are you a dream warrior?
In my dreams, I'm beautiful, Ken.
Yes.
Reference.
Yeah. But do you think you're toast then too?
Absolutely, I am toast. Even though I have the listed weaknesses of Freddy here being fire, because that's what got him in the first place.
A kiss.
Being dragged into the real world.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna guess here, hand sanitizer. When you think about
Ouch.
you think about his exposed wounds all over his body. Dumping a bucket of hand sanitizer would be painful.
There's a reason Freddy didn't attack people during COVID time.
Yes, exactly. I think he kind of laid low for a while.
But he's back.
But whenever you drag him into the real world, and even he's then vulnerable. You kill him. He comes back, and so
He does come back.
Freddy is one of those ones that, much like Zach, you nailed it on the head exactly. I would be like, I just need 5 minutes. I just need 5 minutes of sleep, and then I'll be fine. And that's where I would absolutely die.
Yeah.
Freddy would get me.
Toasty of the toastiest right here.
Yeah.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all done. Can't do it.
Yeah. Freddy's a walking nightmare. Literally.
Now we have Ghostface.
From Scream. A year after the murder of her mother, a teenage girl is terrorized by a masked killer who targets her and her friends by using scary movies as part of a deadly game.
So it's a fictional persona in Halloween costume used as a disguise by the antagonist of the franchise to conceal their identities.
Yeah, so it's like a long black robe, white mask with like a screaming face on it.
So its skills are intimidation, stealth, horror knowledge, because that's kind of true in every one of the movies, and knifesmanship.
Yes, he does usually carry like a what kind of knife is that? A hunting knife, essentially. Mm-hmm. This is interesting because we're going into this.
I thought it was more of a chef's knife. Go on.
It might be. No.
A Bowie knife?
I think chef's knife is more Michael Myers. Anyway, the thing about I find this interesting, Kent, is that we're going into this with the same knowledge that the killer has about horror movies.
However, Randy dies.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, Randy dies. Randy knows everything about scary movies and was still taken out.
No.
We are the Randys of this situation.
Are we?
It is a Bowie knife.
Or are we the Sydneys?
Are you a Sydney and I'm a Gale and Zach's a Dewey? Wait, Zach, I'm so sorry.
I'm Dewey?
I've always thought he had dewy eyes.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing. So the weaknesses of these ghost faces are they're people. They're clumsy in every one of the movies. They're clumsy. And their ego is huge and fragile in that same way.
I like how you keep saying there because there's multiple movies.
Yeah, multiple movies.
We'll keep it there.
Yeah, the costume and mask are cumbersome. Though I will say the anonymity for the killer works in their benefit because it could be anyone. So, for example, let's say someone comes up to you, Joel, and they're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And you're like, "Well, I don't trust this person, but also maybe they're trying to save me."
Yeah.
And there's like a 50-50 chance they could be good or bad.
They could be.
Like, let's say it's Zachary. Joel, are you okay?
Stab. I'm just, don't get near
It's
me.
Miguel.
In this scenario, don't get near me. I'm just stabbing everybody. So yeah, I mean, these guys, they're intelligent. They're manipulative. They have really cool voice box changers that always sounds like the same person for some reason. But their weaknesses, they've got fragile egos. Like you start bashing them, they're going to lose their temper. They also don't do well with knives themselves. You use their own weapon against them, they're not going to do too well because they're humans. Bullets, blunt objects, sequels, these are all weaknesses for the Scream franchise.
Jeez.
Like you said, visibility.
Yeah.
Like even with the strangers, I was going to talk about that. You put on a mask, you've got an advantage. The other person has an advantage because masks are not easy to fight in.
I think
Trust
it's
me, I
simple
know.
strategy. Simple defense maneuvers would help because in the Scream movies, everyone lives their lives like everything's fine. Like, I hope I don't get killed today. Like, if you actually plan to defend yourself, I think you're good against Ghostface.
You home alone in the house.
I agree. I think we would all be fine because we're not dumb.
Yeah.
And everybody in Scream is dumb.
Here's the problem, though. And this may be spoiling a little bit of
Go
Scream.
on.
Not just one person, as you may know. And so I think this is another scenario where I'm going to get maimed, where I'm going to be thinking I'm going to take care of somebody, like I'm taking care of someone, and then their partner's going to come up behind me and stab me in the back.
Okay, what is the scenario that we're living in?
I think we're in Sydney's house.
We're in Sydney's house. Why?
We were at a party, obviously.
Okay, so first of all, I wouldn't even be there because I wouldn't be invited to the party. But I understand we are. Second of all,
hey, you're my chaperone.
thank you.
You're the designated
Second of all,
driver.
nobody knows I'm there at the party. If I'm at this party, nobody knows I'm there.
Don't go in the garage.
Joel, I think he's Ghostface.
It might be me.
Ghostface killer.
I technically could take myself. Boom.
Okay. So I'm saying
Tier 3.
You're saying tier 3. I'm saying
can
tier
take
2. I'm going to get maimed. Zach or Kent, what do you say?
I could take him.
Really?
Easy. I'm clumsy, but I'm not that clumsy. I could do a little parkour. That's Ghostface's weakness.
Feels like everybody in Scream is so dumb.
Yeah.
Like that's it. This is like, and that was part of the charm. It was so playing off of the
Listen,
tropes, but
they're
everyone
calling
is
it
so
out.
dumb.
You suit up like Gizmo and Gremlins, you're fine.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm going full Rambo on Ghostface.
Oh, you mean... I thought you meant like put on a Gizmo costume.
You look like
Suit
a
up
giant,
like literal
I was like,
Gizmo.
is that a Scream
yeah.
weakness?
Ghostface weakness is basically Furbies. Yeah.
You wouldn't want to feed me after midnight.
Anyway,
Wow. Okay. Next we have Hannibal Lecter.
from Silence of the Lambs, a young FBI cadet must receive the help of an incarcerated and manipulative cannibal killer to help catch another serial killer.
So he is an extremely brilliant but mentally disturbed and cannibalistic serial killer infamous for eating his victims, obviously.
It is Anthony Hopkins
Yeah.
playing this role, who, by the way, you guys know how old he was in this role?
Don't say like 35.
No. He was in his 50s.
Okay.
But still, I was like, oh, wow, he's always kind of looked older.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like this is the exact opposite of the Scream situation. I am
Where it's a
not.
highly intelligent...
I am too smart for Ghostface. I am too dumb for Hannibal Lecter.
I think that's it. He's so manipulative. He's creative. He would trick us pretty much in every conversation.
Oh, you think he would just... I mean, he could talk you into offing yourself.
Right.
He's that kind of guy.
However, the FBI is always after him, right? So if he's pursuing you, like, yeah, you're probably going to get eaten a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But he is also, he has someone at his back because, like, he's always in danger as well, or at least fearful that the FBI will find him.
Can you stay alive without a face? I mean, it's possible, right?
Yeah, I think
Possible.
Yeah, I think a couple people did, actually.
I don't think he's eating the cheeks. The cheeks are kind of
Oh, there's not a lot to grab on.
So wait,
Kent's.
Zach,
Oh,
you-
Kent's safe. Look how skinny he is.
Zach, you already said you're toast?
I think I'm toast. Yeah.
Okay. And Kent, you're saying maimed?
I've got marbling.
Oh,
I've got, I'm
not just maimed. I'm getting a little bit eaten.
no,
like-
you're too chewy.
Wait, I'm too chewy?
You're like a chicken wing without enough meat. I'm like a ribeye steak, dude.
Okay, for that reason, I'm surviving.
Zach, are you
but
saying you have marbling?
I marble it. Yeah.
I'm surviving, but just because he's taken a few bites of the buffalo wing and he's like, this is bad quality.
Oh, what is this? Wingstop?
So yeah, I'm getting maimed for sure.
Okay, so we're going into the situation, full knowledge of what they are and who they are, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people underestimated Hannibal Lecter. And I think a lot of people let him speak. I would not let him speak.
Okay, what's happening?
I would end this as quickly as possible with whatever resource
You
I
do
have
have
around
youth
me.
on your side.
I do. He's slightly older than me in this scenario.
Sure. Aw.
But still, I think that I'm not going to allow him to talk to me. I'm not going to put him behind the like, are we in the plexiglass or are we like in the cage? Like, where are we here?
No, I think he's pursuing you in a dark house, probably,
Ooh,
or
that's creepy.
you're at his house. If you think about the Hannibal series, he always
he
has.
doesn't like a pursuant to me.
He
I
has
think you're an old friend of his, and he's called you up and says, "I'd like to have
You for
dinner with you.
for dinner."
And he's really good, honestly. Like, if you've seen the Hannibal series, which is pretty dark, he has FBI agents over all the time, and he either drugs them, poisons them, and gets them in pretty precarious positions. I think that would be you. I think you know who he was and say, I'm not going to trust this guy. I'm not going to eat anything he gives me, but you'll be caught by
But
surprise.
that's the problem, is a lot of people spend time conversing with him. I am not. I'm taking my cricket bat, and I'll walk up, he'll be there, and I'll be like, hello, and then just wha-bam! Before he even starts talking, I'm whacking him in the face. This is a tier 3.
You can take.
No
I
way.
could take a 50-year-old man. He does not have superhero strength.
He does. He just ate Zack.
So he's feeling sluggish. He had a meal and he's like tired now, wants to take a nap.
He's got like a food coma.
You just when you eat something,
he has a food baby.
Zach. When you eat something just slightly too greasy, it weighs you down.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, I'll fall on this sword for you guys.
Wait, did you die or are you a tier 2?
Don't get me wrong.
I mean,
You died?
I'm done.
Don't get me wrong. This was not one I intentionally put in tier 3. This is one that got forced into tier 3.
Okay.
So I have to somehow justify that because I'm terrified of Hannibal Lecter.
Zach, eaten. I'm chewed on.
And I
you're
knocked
getting
the
away
old man,
scot-free.
I knocked the 50-year-old man out with a cricket bat.
We'll see how that goes.
Before he
I
can
think you're
even-
wrong. I think
no
you're straight up
conversation.
wrong.
No conversation. Don't let him get in your head.
He's
Boom.
already in. He's in my head.
Joel.
He tricked you into thinking like you're overcompensating in this point.
Your face is eaten. I can't even hear you right now.
You
Just a
are
cheek.
Joel. You're purity personified. I have so many underlying issues. I'm done for.
Zach, you say purity personified. That's not true, first of all.
Okay.
And secondly, you better believe he's going to like use that against me. Like
Joel
talk about
is
all the terrible things.
Joel's
I've
a
done.
nice Sunday dinner, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not true. I've already
right.
knocked him out.
1, 2, 3. And now we have Jack Torrance.
From The Shining. A family heads to an isolated hotel for the winter where a sinister presence influences the father into violence.
So his skills, he has a feral mind, physical strength, and axemanship.
His weaknesses, he is the cold. He has a temper. He doesn't do well against locked metal doors. And he's also an alcoholic.
Yeah. I think the cool thing about this, when he goes nuts, he's like a wild animal in the hotel, right?
Yeah, when he's
Like
chasing around the
even if
hallways.
he's not around you, you're always going to be scared that he could maybe not sneak up on you because he's not quiet about
Yeah.
what he does.
Yeah,
But there's always someone dangerous looking for you with an axe in hand.
true. But you know who took him out? Shelley Duvall.
Oh, well, she confused him.
Shelley Duvall. No, she hit him in the head.
I'm
and
Shelley Duvall.
He's like, oh, my head hurts so bad. You really hurt me, honey. And he did. And she did. If Shelley Duvall can take him out, or at least almost take him out,
Yeah.
I could take him out. Tier 3.
I agree.
I would beat Jack Torrance.
So he puts his face through the door.
Yeah, here's
Johnny.
Bam.
She's flailing.
I'd probably do the Karate Kid too, like nose pinch.
I would like to think I would flail a little less.
Or a little
Yeah.
more skillfully.
She's so
You'd skillfully flail.
she lacks any composure.
Okay, but what if you're in the maze, like you go in the maze?
Well, that's
You're
where it got
probably
easy
getting
for
lost
them.
as well.
Well,
yeah.
I'm a good father, and my son wanted to play in that maze. I've already been there.
Yeah.
Which Shelley Duvall had already been.
Also, if you put your left hand on the wall of the maze and just follow that and never take your hand off the wall, you'll eventually get out.
He's a lumbering fella.
Is that true?
Try it. It can take a long
Eventually.
time because you're going to be going through every single scenario, but as long as you keep your hand on the left wall,
Unless it's like an Indiana Jones
Maze hack.
thing, and there's a,
unless a Harry Potter maze, no, it moves. Labyrinth.
sure. Yeah, I could take him.
Yeah, it's tier 3.
Okay. We agree. Now we have Jason Voorhees.
From Friday the 13th.
But not the first one?
Well, that's the weird thing about it. We're just going with the Friday the 13th Jason general.
Yeah.
Maybe the 2009 remake. 2009? I don't know.
Yep.
A group of young adults visit a boarded-up campsite named Crystal Lake where they soon encounter mysterious Jason Voorhees and his deadly intentions.
He is a deformed, monstrous serial killer who is known for wearing a hockey mask to cover his deformities and intimidate his enemies, and murdering those who dare to step foot in his hunting ground. So we're at Camp Crystal Lake. He is durable as a human, and even more so, spoiler alert, since he's been brought back from the dead.
Dun, dun, dun. So yes, he's like superhuman in almost every way. He can practically teleport.
So
in
yeah,
some-
he can. Here's the joke: is like they always talk about like the slow-moving slasher. We're running away because we'll be running away, trying to get out of Camp Crystal Lake as soon as we can.
Right.
And he just walks and he catches up to us.
Yeah.
And also, he has really good precision. Like you think, oh, it's a big, strong guy with a machete. I'm getting away, but he can throw it at us and probably hit us in the back or the leg.
Probably. But he
right?
does have some weaknesses, like his mom's sweater. You put that on in the video game, you're okay.
Guess what? I'm putting that on.
You're putting the mom's sweater on?
And I'm getting a wig.
You're going full.
Jason. Jason.
That's your Jason's
Yeah,
mom voice?
yeah.
Pamela Voorhees voice?
Real quick, is this the one in space we're fighting?
No, he's super tough
I
in
can't
space.
take the one in space.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, Jason has childlike intelligence. He can be manipulated.
Yeah.
And also he has a fear of water.
He does.
Because he's drowned.
He's
so do I.
A lot of trauma.
Yeah. The problem is he'll always come back. He'll always come back. You kill him in any way, shape, or form, and then you end up digging up his body and then accidentally putting up like a piece of rebar in his chest and lightning strikes at the wrong time. He's back alive again. He's cryogenically frozen, wakes up in space. This guy does not stop, and he will get me eventually, and I will die.
Yeah, but don't you think he'll eventually get away from Camp Crystal Lake? Unless you go to Manhattan
And then he'll
or
find
parts
me.
of Canada where he eventually goes.
Yes. He kind of goes all over the place. But yes.
Like he's kind of
or
relegated.
Space, Kent. He went to space, Kent.
He's kind of relegated to his territory, though. Granted, in number 2, he somehow gets to a city apartment as well, but he doesn't really go outside of the area very much.
But
on purpose.
But we're in the area, Kent. We're in Camp
Yeah,
Crystal
but
Lake.
aren't you trying to get out?
I'm trying to get out.
Can't you run away?
To Manhattan? It's right around the bay.
Aren't we a teenager?
Yeah.
Well, I think we're ourselves, remember? We're ourselves in the scenario with all our knowledge that we have. And I just feel like I'm toast against Jason Voorhees.
I also feel like I'm toast, Joel.
I'm glad you guys are both sacrificing yourselves for this because generally in these movies, the weakest person survives. And that's going to be me. I am the final girl in this situation.
Because you're wearing a sweater and a wig.
Yeah, I tried to manipulate him. It didn't really work because I couldn't talk sense into him. And he's way stronger than me, and he is going to probably hack into my leg. I'm probably going to be on the raft at some point.
Okay, yeah.
And so we can always come back, but I will survive this day, but maimed. Thank you for sacrificing yourselves for me.
Okay, if that's how you want to put it. You're welcome. I
tier
am a
2 for
noble
me.
soul.
Now we have Jigsaw.
From Saw. Two men awaken to find themselves on the opposite sides of a dead body,
That guy's back.
each with specific instructions to kill the other or face consequences.
So this is John Kramer. He's the main antagonist of, or kind of main antagonist of 4 to 5 of the 10 movies.
Wow, that's confusing.
Yeah. While he does kill many people, he doesn't wish for them to die.
So, we have to clarify
For
this.
a minute.
This is weird because this isn't like you're on one-on-one combat with an old cancer-ridden man. You wake up. In this scenario, we wake up and we're in a saw trap of some sort.
This is a grown-up Kevin McAllister, right? And we're already in a trap. And so what the choice is, we are waking up and we either have to do something that's going to cause grievous bodily harm, but we'll probably survive,
Yeah.
and that will save our lives, like the trap will end, or we let the timer go down and we die.
And I feel that's exactly it, is that he is not looking, at least in the first couple movies, he is not looking to kill people.
I generally think he is not looking to kill people. Anyone pretending to be him
Yes.
doesn't follow the rules.
Oh yeah, they don't follow the rules. In more than half the movies, they don't care. You can try to save yourselves, you're going to die. So
Yes, but generally when John Kramer is doing his thing, it is supposed to be a way of you being thankful for your life, for you having to fight for your life.
Joel, I have
party.
a question. Zach, feel free to answer.
Yeah.
Could you dig into your leg and drain your own bone marrow?
Hello.
Could you?
I think
It's surprising what you would do.
Can you pull out?
No, in order to live, or if I'm just really hungry, you'd be surprised what I do.
yeah.
Okay.
Could you pull out your own eye?
Let's not get into specific scenarios of this.
Okay. And even if you could, even if you're like, I still need to survive for my people that love me,
My people.
could you kill someone else to survive?
And that's a really tricky question.
Yeah.
So here's my point I'm going to make to kind of shut off your specifics here, is that I put this at tier 2 because I'll get out.
There's no way.
I'll live. But I'll tell you what, I'm either going to be physically scarred or mentally scarred.
You're mentally scarred.
There is no way I'm
both,
going to get out of this unscathed when I'm in a jigsaw trap.
I think inherently you start at a tier 2. There is no way you could just get out of this scotch-free.
Yeah.
So at the very least, this is a tier 2, if not tier 1. I think I would fight for my life. So I think I would be maimed. But
All right.
reverse bear trap, I think I'd get out.
Yeah.
I'm a goner. Make it
You're
quick.
gone?
Yeah, I would be like, sure, could I cause myself pain and get out of a trap? But
So wait, it's like,
I want to play a game.
no, think about it.
You have to eat this whole plate of ketchup and eggs, and Kent's like,
I'm gone.
Yeah, basically, it'll be either a quick, gross-looking death or 5 minutes of destroying yourself quite literally and then dealing with however long it takes for the cops to get to you. Like horrible pain and or limbs missing.
But
it's a tier 1. I'm toast.
So you'd start hearing the dun dun dun.
And truly, if you look at the odds in these movies, 90% of the people are gone.
Odds get progressively worse.
Yeah,
and the
but
movies get progressively
I'm thinking
worse.
like maybe the first 2 or 3.
But his
still bad.
intent is not
More
to kill.
reasonable.
His intent is to teach.
Yeah, what did we do to get in these traps? By the way,
Are we in the house in 2?
with the needles.
Are we all together with tattoos on the back of our neck?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's like an escape room.
Oh, we're good at those.
Yeah, we're pretty good at those.
Are we?
Yes.
Are we?
But
Zach
you-
got a concussion the last time we went to an escape
Hey, Jigsaw,
room.
can we get a hint?
So if it was an escape room, I definitely would
Be maimed.
be maimed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm dead.
I'm giving it a tier 2. Now it's Leatherface.
From Texas Chainsaw Massacre. 5 friends head to rural Texas to visit the grave of a grandfather. On the way, they stumble across what appears to be a deserted house, only to discover something sinister within.
Joel, could you do me a favor and add a little parental warning that we could add at the beginning of this episode? Because Leatherface is an unstable and cannibalistic serial killer who wears masks that are the faces of his victims, perfectly flayed from their bodies.
I wasn't going to read that last part, Kent. Oh, boy.
His weapons are chainsaw, a sledgehammer, and his physical strength.
What are his weaknesses?
Well, he can lose track of his victims if they use crawl spaces. Like, he's a big guy, so if he can't really follow you, you can hide pretty well.
Yeah.
But he does have a family that can also trap you. His family is super nuts.
Also a family that you could use against him. The family bond is strong. If you like hold a family member as hostage,
Okay.
he'd probably back down. Also, he's not that intelligent.
He's not.
He's fairly slow walking. He's pretty quick on the swing, though, with his arm. But
Yeah, the thing about this is once again, it's a territory-based thing. He never leaves the property. And so if you somehow, and I'm not saying be on a main road because maybe his dad will find you.
I
But-
hated that.
Totally.
Hated that so much how everyone's in on it.
Right? But you can get away. If there is a kind, good Samaritan that will pick you up when you're injured or whatnot, you'll get away and you'll be just fine. And I think that's good news. I think if you can run fast enough without the family finding you,
Run, rabbit, run.
I think you're okay. So either it's you're a goner immediately or you're getting away scot-free. I think for me, it's going to come right down the middle. I think I'm going to get injured. I think it's going to be some horrible torture. And I do think the characters in these movies are also not very intelligent.
Right.
And they stay in the house and they investigate things quite a bit. I will not be doing that, so I'm just going to keep running.
Once again, we're going in full aware into this scenario. So I'll tell you what, I'm not even going in that house.
Nope.
Because we walk in that entryway and it's not going to go well. But
I think you can walk in the house, but I think you can leave at that point because I think you need to see the horrors that come with the house and the family.
Yeah.
But that dinner table, essentially.
I'm giving this I'm going to survive, but I got maimed.
Same.
Because I feel like that terrifies me. The movie was kind of icky, although oddly tamer than I thought it was going to be.
But it gives you the ick feel.
It's got an ick feel to it.
Yeah, like
but
modern
the
dating.
thing that creeped me out the most is just finding out that basically everyone in the town is kind of in on it, and they're all family, they're all related somehow, and that was horrifying to me. And so I worry what would happen to me, but I think I'd get out alive.
Okay. Zach?
I don't know.
Screaming in the street.
I think similar to what you were saying, Kent, earlier, like I think I either get away fine or I'm done. I don't think there's a somewhere in between where it's like, oh, I got hurt, but I barely got away.
But I think you maybe need to meet in the middle.
Meet in the middle.
Oh, but if I start getting injured, I think it's already too late.
Okay.
So I think maybe I get hit in the head or something, and
Or in the arm or something.
yeah. But then when they're trying to put me in the freezer, I'm like, no, thank you.
So, Zach, where are you at? You toast? Or are you getting away?
I can't decide. I'll go tier 2.
Okay,
I'll just say
okay.
tier 2. I'd say I think I can make it out.
Okay.
I would probably trip
So Zach
and hurt
said,
myself that way.
Zach said there are only 2 scenarios in this. I'm going with the third.
Same. Same.
I get it.
It's so
I do think it's like a tier 2 threat. The family makes it much harder to get away.
Yeah.
But I think Leatherface, we could take him.
Yeah.
But what about Mithrigan?
Megan? From the movie Megan, a robotics engineer at a toy company builds a lifelike robot doll that begins to take on a life of its own.
So Model 3 generative android.
And she looks like a human, like young woman with blonde hair, and she has like these gray eyes.
Yeah.
And she's got like this long sleeve green shirt and a stripe pattern. You've seen the dances on TikTok and Reels.
It's her skills. She has a cyber mind, enhanced strength, enhanced speed, stealth, and flexibility.
And then her weaknesses, water,
Yeah.
kind of slows her down because she is a robot. Screwdrivers, hit in the right spot, that will do it. I think viruses,
Yeah.
maybe low batteries.
I think a PG-13 rating as well.
Windows
the
updates?
weakness. Yeah, Windows updates for sure.
Yeah. Apple compatibility, like once the new model of Megan's come out, the old ones are just kind of rot.
So she's, Joel, probably what, 4'2", right?
Yeah.
This is a taller doll, but still a doll.
But with-
this is stronger than Chucky
It's much stronger than Chucky.
because she's like
She's cybernetic.
robotic,
She's not
right? Yeah.
plastic.
However, a screwdriver to the face takes her out.
It takes most things out, Kent.
Yeah, but like a Skynet robot, essentially, like a not invincible.
If you were to get that screwdriver in her face, though, Kent, you would have to get pretty close.
Yes.
You arm's length.
Which is why I'm sacrificing an arm. I think she's going to bust one of my arms, but I'm still getting close. I'm going to survive, but just barely on this one. Because I think she'll hurt me pretty bad. I will have to dive right in, but I'm going to get away.
I'm going to agree with you, Kent, because
Okay.
I'm going to try to distract her by doing the TikTok dance, the Megan TikTok dance.
Can we see an example right now?
How's that?
Okay, that's pretty good, actually. Wow, that was weird.
I did the whole thing just now.
Amazing.
But she's obviously going to be offended by that because I did not do it right.
Yeah.
And then she's going to hurt me. But I think I'm going to be able to get some water on her, get a screwdriver, something to slow her down and stop her and get the wiring out. So
I think I have manners. And little boys are supposed to have manners. And that,
what kind of manners are we talking about here in this scenario?
The boy that she takes out, she says he doesn't have manners.
No, but here's the thing.
I have manners.
No, she's chasing us. It's not like we're being mean to this girl she's taking care of.
He was.
She is chasing us.
No.
Yeah. That's the scenario. You got to be put in the scenario of the victim, right?
No, I'm a nice boy. She would be fine to me.
What?
That literally goes against everything we're just saying.
Is it the fact like she's taking care of you?
You guys are on your own fight. We're not fighting this together, and you guys are just bad at this. I'm fine. Tier 3. I got this.
Zack's like, will you please not hurt me?
She's like, oh, yeah, sure.
Well, he has good manners.
Wow, he's so
the etiquette on this guy.
Yeah, look, he knows what to.
Thank you kindly.
He knows where to set his cutlery.
Zach's saying manners make up the man.
Indeed.
And then he'll
manners make up Mithrigan.
But how are you taking her out then?
You're just walking away?
How am I taking her out?
Yeah.
We're probably going to go apple orchard.
No, that's not a scenario. Dating is not a scenario.
We're going to hang out. We're buddies.
Wait.
Okay, you need to understand something about me. Robots love me. I'm really good with tech. I worked at Best Buy, man. I can do updates like crazy. I should have been in IT. But robots love me.
There's no scenario in which you both live. One of you has to die. Well, how are you taking Megan out?
I'll take her out at some point.
You know, I could see it now because like he does a Google Home thing and he'd be like, Mithrigan, turn on the blue lights and the red lights on the house.
The fact that you call her Mithrigan, she's gonna murder you.
She'd be like, that's actually kind of charming. Oh, we're friends.
I bet you he adopts her.
We're buddies.
And then
a personal home assistant.
Dark.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And next time we make fun of Zack, we're toast.
Yeah, you got it. I got a friend. We go to apple orchards. Now we have Michael Myers.
From Halloween. 15 years after murdering his sister on Halloween night 1963, Michael Myers escapes from a mental hospital and returns to the small town of Haddonfield, Illinois to kill again.
He hunts every Halloween night. He's seen as the embodiment of evil. He kills everyone he encounters, which, almost everyone he encounters. Mm-hmm. His weapons are a chef's knife, specifically, his hands, and a hammer.
And he is like, he wears these blue coveralls. He wears a William Shatner mask that's painted white. He's an intimidating figure, and he's big. Well, he's 6'1", I think they said.
Now, he can kill without his mask, as seen in the recent trilogy. But he generally needs it. It gives him, like, this courage. Courage sounds weird, I know. But, yeah, it is like this natural killing instinct.
Do you have the courage to kill, Kent?
Let me put on a William Shatner mask. But it gives him this superhuman strength, almost.
But it's like his security blanket. And I saw that as too. First of all, he only kills near or around Halloween.
Yeah.
So if you can survive a day or two and it's like, Thanksgiving,
but it's
Joel,
good. It's Halloween night at like 8:30 p.m.
Yeah. Also, he does not do well with fire or decapitation or wire hanger in the eyes or Rob Zombie storylines. He does not do well. So
the thing about him, like we would see him coming. Right? Like he's not loud.
You hear his theme music, you're like,
he's coming. But I don't think any of us are going to be his final goal, right? He has a weakness.
It's pronounced girl.
Yeah, right? He has an obsession with certain targets, but he's really good at getting rid of cannon fodder. And I do think maybe we are cannon fodder on this Halloween night.
We're the Paul Rudd. Anyway, I'm giving this a tier 1 personally because I feel honestly, if I gave Jason a tier 1, I have to give Michael Myers a tier 1 because they're both unstoppable silent forces that continue to be the embodiment of evil. And so I'm toast. If Michael Myers is coming after me, I'm toast.
I have Megan on my side.
Oh, she's coming with you now?
For the rest of the show?
In all the scenarios?
Yeah. Dude, I'm toast. I'm so toast. I am absolutely the guy that gets taken out on the way to the goal.
So like he's trying to get there and you're the guy driving the car and he walks up and he's like, grabs your neck.
I'm like, hey, sir, can I help you with...
Yeah.
Done. Easy.
Toast.
I'm nearly toast, but it's the sunrise, and I was just about to die, and the sun the sun just came up.
He kills in the day.
Listen,
no, he disappears.
He just appears. He gets hit with a bullet.
Standing in the background.
That's so true. He doesn't kill during the day. Yeah,
he could. It's 2024.
I'm gonna get stabbed, but I'm getting away probably because he'll get distracted with his final goals, which are the two of you. Once again, just like Jason.
Oh, come on.
He's a tier 2. Guys, once again, I'm the final girl here.
You're going to put on like a Judith Myers wig?
Guys, I'm pure. You guys, come on.
Kent woke up and chose Activia.
Apparently.
Next, we have Norman Bates.
From Psycho. A secretary on the run for embezzlement takes refuge at a secluded California hotel owned by a repressed man and his overbearing mother. Spoiler alerts for Psycho 1960.
1960, sure.
Should we be saying Norman or should we be saying Norma?
Both. He is a serial killer who suffers from psychosis and dissociative identity disorder,
Good job saying that.
believing himself to be, spoiler alert, I love that we're like, because this is such a legacy movie, right?
Yeah.
His controlling mother.
Yeah. Because that was a big deal back in the day.
Now,
Even
Norman,
if you know what's going on, it's still a very good movie.
Norman himself, like he's got charisma. You just like, you kind of feel bad for him as a person because you're like, I just want to be your friend.
I don't know if I'd call it charisma as much as I call it sympathy.
Sympathy. Maybe that's it.
Like he comes,
Pity.
he starts
Pity.
talking, you're like, oh, this poor guy. Oh,
Like he just wants a conversation. He wants
Yeah.
a friend. And then when he, as Norman, gets uncomfortable in a conversation or situation, he retreats. But when he retreats, something else comes back.
Yeah.
But don't you think we'd be ready? You
Yes,
know,
I mean-
we're not turning our back,
No.
basically, right?
We're not pretty girls.
That's also true.
That's true.
None of us here at the table are
We
pretty
don't-
girls.
I mean,
We
I
don't-
did get seduced by Dracula.
That's true.
Not
and deservingly so.
One of us did.
But you are not enough of a meat for Hannibal Lecter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though we could be staying at the Bates Motel, we're
Yeah.
not pretty girls. We're not a threat to mother.
But do you know what? Do you know what finally stopped Norman Bates? One dude in a suit. Like,
Yeah.
he grabbed him from behind and then just kind of held him in like a headlock kind of a thing, or like, you know, a full Nelson.
What stopped him was figuring out what was going on. I mean, that's the thing with him. It's you don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
He's a step ahead of you. You don't even know you need to be afraid of anything, and then
Yeah.
you're suddenly
Don't
taking
get me
a
wrong.
shower and
Secret.
you're dead.
Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, he is a threat. Like when Arbogast is going up the stairs, Arbogast is going up the stairs, and he gets a surprise attack.
Right.
But like you said, we're going to the scenario fully aware of
Yeah.
who he is and what he's capable
I think
of.
as mother himself, I don't think he gets any more powers as mother.
No.
He just like more demented behavior. But
Higher
I think
voice powers.
he's frail and helpless against real weapons.
Yeah. So
Even
yeah.
if it's like a staff.
we're
or
all, so
something.
we're all saying
We could take
we
him.
got
We
him.
could take him.
We can take him. All right.
Now we have Pennywise.
Oh boy. This is from It. In 1960, 7 preteen outcasts fight an evil demon who poses as a child-killing clown. 30 years later, they reunite to stop the demon once and for all when it returns to their hometown.
His skills are control over the deadlights, which essentially hypnotizes his prey. He's a master of disguises, which is Joel's favorite movie.
Ah.
He has psychological manipulation and intimidation.
No one knows the true form of it, or we can't perceive it as weak-minded humans.
It's like a Martian spider.
Well, that's what they say, but that's the closest we can
Okay.
perceive it.
I think it's a convenient Stephen King plot device.
Yeah. Joel, Zack, are we kids or are we adults? Are we 27 years later?
The first part's better, so we're that one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, I think we're ourselves, but we're put in the situation.
So
with
we
it.
dealt with him when we were kids.
If you want to go to the later one, sure.
And now we are dealing with him again, and he's finally going to like claim us, right? Because we took care of him the first time around.
But his weaknesses are battery acid, otherwise known as
Well, no-
asthma inhalers, slingshots, and underestimating the power of human goodness, love, and friendship.
Which we have in spades, but we're not together.
That's true.
Listen, his weakness is bullying. You just have to bully him in order to weaken him. He turns into a deflated balloon. And guess what?
His weakness is turtles. Really?
A space turtle.
Yeah, really big turtles.
A space turtle. I think that we would experience like, and yeah, he's still scary, but he's all about the theatrics. And honestly, kind of stops short when he wants to scare you. And then he'll come back because he wants to incite fear. That's kind of what feeds him.
He says fear makes the taste better.
You think we haven't been through enough in our lives in the past 4 years, if not more, that we've dealt with more fear and anxiety than Pennywise could ever throw at us? This guy's toast.
Are you kidding
I could
me?
take him in a second. I'd be like, you know what? That's scary. Oh, sharks are pretty freaking scary. But he never follows through all the way.
No, Kent, he's going to appear as commitment to you.
Okay. I've already beat him.
What is the personification of failure? Because that would get me.
Imposter syndrome.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh, jeez.
I'm toast.
No, actually, it would probably be a feather for Zach about to tickle him. And he's out.
No.
The new
But
fear
listen,
unlocked last
the
episode.
presence of courage and heart are his main weaknesses. You just have to say, you know what? I'm not afraid of you.
I'm not.
You
afraid.
have no
But you
power
have to
over
mean
me.
it, Kent. And that's the problem. The problem is that it can appear as whatever terrifies you most. And I still have all my fears. I still have all my anxieties. And I am going to be terrified in this situation just by knowing it's Pennywise. Going into this, like this is my scenario. We're about to walk into the portal of like putting us in this scenario, and I'm already terrified. I'm going to this bed.
I'm sorry.
Ken, I'm toast.
No, here's the thing. In the movies,
toast.
the Losers Club are friends. They're together. It's not like they're separated, right? And that works in their benefit. Few of them die because they're together.
We are not together. We are fighting separately.
Because I would say, Joel, you got this.
We're not all in this together.
Joel, it's not real.
This is not High School Musical.
Oh, okay. So you're toast?
I'm toast. Against Pennywise, I'm toast. This is one of my biggest fears. Just Pennywise is one.
Beep, Joey.
He appears as Tim Curry. I'm already marinating in fear juices.
Yeah.
And then I'm toast. I'm seeing the deadlights. I'm being pulled into the pipe. I'm gone.
Okay, Zach, I could take him. Easy.
I think he might appear as me.
To you?
Yeah. I think I might fear myself more than anything.
That got real deep.
Yeah, so I think he would just appear as me, and then I'd be like,
How
wow.
can you fear someone so awesome, Zach?
I think my hair is really nice. And then we'd just be like buddies.
Oh, you're being buddies with
hang out
everybody.
Megan and
We
Pennywise?
could be buddies.
No, listen, I would be like, hey, Pennywise, you turn into a horrible-looking spider in each of your movies. Like, knock it off. That doesn't scare anybody. And in fact, part 2 ruins the entire story. And he'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I killed Joel.
I didn't see part 2 because I died.
That's so sad.
I didn't make it to the second half.
Wait, so Zach, your best buddies, is that a tier 3?
I think I could take him.
Yeah, me too.
I think I could take him.
You guys can both just take Pennywise?
I'm not afraid of clowns. I'm not afraid of fear.
First time I told you guys this. First time I saw it as a kid, I threw up. I was so scared.
No.
So you would literally, it wouldn't be your greatest fear. It would just be Tim Curry's version of Pennywise.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. If it were the Skarsgård version, I'd be like, you're okay. But
Yeah.
I might be able to take that, but I couldn't take Tim Curry's Pennywise.
Listen. If I'm fighting him and it's my greatest fears, my son's indifference just shows up. Dad, I don't like you. Like,
Zach, cut it
but
out.
That doesn't kill me.
Yeah, cut it out.
This is real.
Like, it's getting real sad, actually. Maybe you need these slashers to be your best friends, just to bring you up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Next, we have Pinhead.
Hellraiser. A woman discovers the newly resurrected, partially formed body of her brother-in-law and lover. She starts killing for him to revitalize his body and escape the demonic beings that are pursuing him after he escaped their underworld. What a weird description of a weird movie.
Pinhead is the leader of the Order of the Gash, a sadomasochistic religion whose adherents are the demonic torturers known as the Cenobites.
Yes.
He usually kills his victims by, sorry kids, earmuffs, tearing them apart with hooked chains, but he also has an arsenal of demonic powers. He's a master of torture and pain.
He's lean and thin. He's bald. He has pins. He has lines drawn over his head and then pins everywhere.
I think the scary thing in this is he doesn't want to kill you. He just wants to drag you into permanent suffering.
Yes.
Right? By the way, there's 11 Heckraiser movies?
You can say Hellraiser. It's okay.
There's 11 Hellraiser movies, guys.
You have to
That's
emphasize
torture.
it, though.
That's torture right there.
So you summon Pinhead and the other Cenobites by playing with this puzzle box, the lament configuration.
That's one.
But then, so I think that's how you'd summon him. And obviously, we've done that at this point. We can't just say I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But also, the way to get him back is to solve the puzzle. So if you're good at puzzles, right, you can get through this.
It's not Rubik's.
Another weakness of Pinhead, snagging on sweaters. He can't wear sweaters.
Okay, knock it off. That's silly. Listen, unless I'm wearing Pamela Voorhees sweater, the only way to survive is to sacrifice someone else to him in your place. It's kind of like annoying. In like the 4 Hellraiser movies I've seen, he always just shows up, and granted, maybe one person survives, but he just shows up. He's kind of a jerk, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to rip you limb from limb. And it's kind of like, there was like no rules to this movie. The movies are kind of dumb.
Yeah.
You're like, there's no real way to survive because he's just evil.
Yeah.
He's just evil.
I've only seen parts. I've chosen kind of not to watch these movies.
Yeah, they're not great.
A little icky, a little too icky for me. And so but the problem is, I see this as a kind of a already drawn conclusion. If you have opened the puzzle box and if he's there,
correct,
you're gone. You're toast.
Yeah.
There's no getting out of it. So I'm toast.
Yeah.
Also, I don't really know how to fight him because I haven't seen the movies. Therefore, I'm toast.
Burnt toast. Zach?
I think we'd be buddies.
You can't be buddies with every killer.
Fine, I'm toast.
You'd be like knitting a sweater. You're like, oh, can I borrow that from your forehead? Can I borrow that?
He can't wear sweaters. They snag.
Okay, next we have Samara.
A journalist must investigate a mysterious videotape which seems to cause the death of anyone 1 week to the day after they view it.
She is a vengeful ghost of a young mass murderer and has the ability to burn images into people's minds.
Mass murderer thing gets into the sequels, I think, because I don't remember.
Yeah, it's part of the canon, though.
But she wears a white dress and has long black hair that covers her face. And her strengths, it says Nensha. Did you look up what Nensha was?
No.
It's like burning images.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it means. Okay. Yeah.
It's like a whole thing. I was like, I don't know.
Basically driving him crazy.
Yeah.
To a certain point.
And also burning things into like film and pictures.
So one thing about her, she's never really killed. She's only silenced for a little bit. In fact, when you try to save the day, sometimes that makes her a little more available to do her evil stuff.
Can't just because she's available doesn't mean...
Not for commitment, right?
Yeah. No, so her weaknesses, wells. She doesn't do well with those. Hairstylists. And I think that's going to be a problem.
Outdated technology?
Yeah, no one has a VCR anymore. So she's rigged up to
her
that.
weakness is hairstylist?
I think so.
Okay, Joel.
Oh, well, done. Easy.
I don't want to see her face. I don't want to see
I
that
don't see her face either.
Tell me this. Is it the week leading to her coming? So it's the hunting?
Yes,
or is it
basically
she's coming out of the TV walking towards us?
No, I think it is like the day, like you watch that tape.
So
and
you're
then
cursed.
You're cursed and all the stuff. You have 7 days and you got to, deal with all
Joel,
the horrors that come on those 7 days.
Find a VCR to VCR recorder in 7 days. Go for it.
That's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. But how about this? Because, we kind of joke about how maybe the movie's a little outdated. Don't you think Samara, using her powers, couldn't just create like a streaming show or a YouTube channel to share this video
it's
for
a cursed
people?
link now.
And the thing is,
instead of infecting your computer,
in order to survive, you're not exactly sacrificing someone else, but you're putting someone in a chain letter, right? You're making someone else be cursed so they can curse everyone in the world, essentially, like in this train. And then you're fine. And so there is an easy way to survive. It's kind of like selling your soul a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm a goner, straight up. I'm toast because I think I would kind of go mad by the 7 days preceding my actual death.
Yeah.
And I just know basically the mood of the first Ring movie. I get chills. I mean, there's a reason we've definitely awarded it certain things on the show.
Yeah.
I get chills by thinking about what that week leads to and what happens during it. I'm a goner.
See, and I see the week being awful.
Yeah.
And as I have to struggle with what I need to do, awful. But then you know what? I'm going to take a VHS tape over to death row, give it to one of the prisoners there and be like, hey, watch this. It's on me, or send them a link to it. And then I'll have to deal with that for the rest of my life. And that will be a horrible thing that I did.
So you're going to let that rest on your conscience.
It will. And so I will get out. I will survive, but I will be not the same. I will be maimed mentally by what I've done.
Okay. Wow.
Because I would pass on that
That's
tape.
a big choice right there.
That's the thing. You are not. You either make it out or you don't.
Either you make it out or you. Well, if you make it out, that means someone else is.
But yeah, you do not make it out with a clean conscience.
No.
So that's like the barely element.
That's the main.
You're not injured, but your cabeza has got problems.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I'm going to go with a tier 2.
Okay.
And this one, I would survive. I think here's the thing. I share every video I've ever seen.
That's true.
I'm never watching one of your reels again.
No, 100%. But I get this. I've sent it to my wife on TikTok. I've shared it with the guys at the barbershop. I've sent it in Messenger to you guys.
Okay, but if you know...
I've accidentally killed all my friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Good thing I got Megan.
I don't think Megan can stop Samara.
You guys are... There's a reason I'm surviving Jason and Michael, you guys. Jeez.
Yeah, sure, Mr. I got seduced by Dracula. All right, let's jump to the next one.
We have the Beast.
From Poltergeist, not from Split.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, no.
Or Beauty and...
This is kind of like the house that they're in. We're in the house in Poltergeist. There are ghosts. They are being like puppeted by the Beast. But
so, for example, in the first film, the Beast manifests twice. First as a giant flaming skull, and then later as a tall, wispy skeletal figure with the long arms. Like
the creeper
weird
pops
effects.
out of the... Yeah.
And then in part 2, they kind of like rewrite the story a little bit.
Oh, they totally do.
And he's personified, and there's this whole backstory, but it's Cain.
Yeah, Cain, right? Cain the Reverend is essentially the Beast. But we're going with...
But essentially, it is this Beast wants to use, specifically Carol Ann, to use that power. Essentially...
You got to say it right, Kent.
Yeah. Carol Ann.
There you go.
To use her innocence and untainted life essence to capture souls trying to enter the afterlife. So it's like people are going to pass on, but he's going to use her essence in order to just keep them, like feed on them.
He's got supernatural powers. He's got the deceptions and illusions.
Hallucinations, all that, yeah.
And can possess things. His weaknesses, a charmed native spear can take him out.
Yeah.
And small mediums can take him out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's large, small, medium.
Small, medium, at large.
Or just like a family member with a big rope.
Well, they got away from him. They didn't defeat him. Then he swallowed the whole house.
Yeah, but they got away.
The beast. This is the kind of the weird thing about it. The body count inside the movie of Poltergeist very low.
Yeah,
like meaning no one dies.
They're so close to it not going well. Like that's how I saw it.
But we are also going into this knowing full well what the situation is.
And I would barely make it.
And I said I could take the beast.
What?
I could take the beast.
Zach, I could also take the beast. Because in these hallucinations...
This house is clear.
I think these hallucinations, they're gross. They're horrible. The braces thing.
Oh, yeah.
The swimming pool with the skeletons,
maggots,
all that kind of stuff.
Chicken.
The tequila worm, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's gross, but it ends. Right? You're like, oh, that was the worst. I got to get out of here.
Well, that's the other thing. You walk out of the house, you're good.
Well, but then in part 3... They go to a hotel, and a cane is still going after
counting
Caroline.
part 3?
It's canon.
Okay.
Right? But then also, Zelda brings him into the light as well.
Yeah.
There's a way to defeat him. And Poltergeist, I mean, I'd be Googling everything. Like, how do I defeat a Poltergeist?
You're in the scenario. Google doesn't exist.
Megan, yes? How do I defeat a Poltergeist?
She's my friend.
So, Zach, are you toast?
I think I barely make it.
Okay.
But I don't mean it in the maiming way.
Yeah.
I think it's just like in Poltergeist, like they
Before the house swallows itself.
So you come out, but you have like one of those stylish white streaks in your hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it. Mm-hmm.
I don't like, oh, I've got this figured out, because frankly, I don't fully remember even what happened in the movie, because it's a little confusing. But I think I get out, but barely.
I could see you being like a Craig T. Nelson in that movie, where you're like kind of fascinated by things in the house moving.
Sure.
And then being like, he gradually creeped out and being like, this is not good for my family.
No.
Right.
So tier 2 for me.
Okay.
Now we have the creeper.
From Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those peepers? A brother and sister driving home through isolated countryside for spring break encounter a flesh-eating creature which is in the midst of its ritualistic eating spree.
He feeds every 23 days on every 23rd spring. Just to describe what the creeper looks like, because maybe people haven't seen this movie as much.
Big trench coat, big hat.
Wispy white hair, skin with it's like a reptilian green color.
Yeah.
Yellow fangs. And when he does like kind of stretch out your beacocks a little bit.
Dilophosaurus in Jurassic Park.
A little bit.
Yeah.
He's got like these appendages connected to a thin membrane.
Yeah.
His hobbies are eating people, torturing people before killing them, scaring people. This is kind of what he does. He scares you, and then he goes, oh, I'm going to need that ear.
Yeah, because he uses these victims'
Yeah, I'm going to need that
body
heart.
parts to restore himself.
But
Yes.
that's the thing. He will, once he smells a certain body part, like let's say it's your heart, he will stop at nothing in order to get that.
Even if you're in the middle of a cell in the middle of a police station, he will find you.
Yeah, and so you do have to have something that he wants, but clearly he's after us because he wants something.
He wants my elbow, my left elbow.
You know, that's like, can you sacrifice that left elbow?
I don't want to. But the thing about the creeper is, first of all, every 23 years, then he goes into like hibernation. So if you can somehow stop him for a bit, you might have a chance.
23-day period. Every
But
23 years.
He in sunlight, he's a little weaker. One of the reasons he wears the big hat. But he is vulnerable to bullets, knives, blunt force. Like he gets incapacitated by a car in the first film,
But he
a
does
spear in the other.
regenerate.
He does eventually. Mm-hmm. But I think I could. He is vulnerable to these things. I think I could eventually stop him, but it would take a lot, and he might even get my left elbow.
So then he's coming back for you in 23 years.
Right.
And if you stop him again.
Fun fact: I'm not living that long.
Oh, Joel, stop it.
What? I eat a lot.
No.
Unhealthy.
Don't do that. I am toast. I was so scared by the end of the first Jeepers Creepers and what happens. Really caught me off guard. And I did not like how I felt about it. And I was like, I am going to be that character that I will not know he's coming for me. Maybe.
Justin Long?
Maybe. Well, spoiler alert. I think maybe I'd be trying to protect other people, and he's coming for me. And I am a goner with this. And I do think I'll weaken him, but I think he's still going to come back. Zach, what about you?
I did have him at tier 1, by the way, but he got bumped down.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I think I'd survive, but just barely.
Okay.
Just barely.
Yeah.
I don't
He'd go for Zach's hair.
I don't think I'm particularly desirable.
Oh, Zach would die without his hair.
I
white
think he
streak.
would get started with me and go, you know what? Never mind.
Why are we so down on ourselves this episode?
I don't need this.
Zach, you're making friends in one scenario and you don't have friends
Yeah,
in
but
another.
he needs some friends because he's down on himself.
Yeah, I heard from Hannibal
Are you and
Lecter
Megan doing okay?
that you were like a chewy ribeye. Like, I don't need any of this. And so he's like, no, thank you, and gives up. Tier 2.
Wow.
Now we have The Thing.
From The Thing, a research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims. Hey, Kent, what does The Thing look like?
Me?
Whatever it wants to look
Yeah,
like.
it can be anything and anyone. It could be a dog. It could be a cat.
But always seem with hidden teeth somewhere. That's
Yeah.
the scary thing.
Like it could be a pet, someone in your family. And it turns into, at the end of the thing, a literal monster with multiple heads, giant sharp teeth.
Everything it's like kind of morphed into.
Yeah, and if you've seen the 2011 one, obviously it's CG, and that's where the thing moves a little bit quicker. In fact, at one part, it's actually horrifying, even though it is CG. An arm detaches from a body, someone they suspect, and it injects himself. Like, it could be any part of any cell of the thing touches you, you're corrupted.
And that's the problem, is the fact that if you dismember this creature, each thing becomes a new thing.
Yeah.
And that's horrifying.
It is susceptible to fire.
Yes, and explosives and electrocution and the cold, extreme cold will slow it down and stop it as well. So there are ways to kill it. But I'll tell you what, this is one of the most terrifying things is when you don't know who to trust. That is horrifying.
That's the beauty of this movie.
And I was going to say the movie's good, and if you haven't read the original short story, Who Goes There, also terrifying. But yeah, this is a tier 1 for me. I'm toast. I feel like,
And I do think you'd probably survive near up until the end. Maybe you and I both. But one of us is the thing.
The problem is, Kent, I'm too trusting. You'd be like, Joel, it's me. And I'd be like, oh, hey, Kent. And I'd ask you something like, hey, what are your feelings on this? And you'd know. And I'd be like, oh, that's obviously Kent.
Do you know what I would do?
Stabby, stabby.
Finger boop. And then my hand would open up and swallow your hand.
Oh, that is terrifying.
Isn't that horrible?
Like, pull me in and like tear off my arm. Oh, man.
Hey, Zach, you want a finger boop? This is a tier 1 all the way. I am toast.
No, I'm so toast.
Yeah.
Yeah, hokey CG of the 2011 version aside.
Although there's a horrifying part where dude gets assimilated face to face. That's horrible.
He's like laying on the ground.
It's
and he
so
goes
scary.
up and then it's like mirroring him.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
Quite gross. No, this is. I'm so toast. I'm too trusting of a person. I want to make everyone my friend.
Apparently.
I'm not making friends with the thing.
How do you know? How do you know you're not making friends with the thing? What if Megan is a thing this whole time?
No, I trust her. I'm polite. I have manners. No, I'm toast. Easy toast. All right, how about Xenomorph?
Is our final one?
Our final.
This has been a
final
very
battle.
brutal episode we've been doing here. Xenomorph from Alien. After investigating a mysterious transmission of unknown origin, the crew of a commercial spacecraft encounters a deadly life form.
So abilities are high intelligence, charisma, wall climbing, stealth, superhuman strength. Let me just describe them. They have thick exoskeletons and amazing speed, and their blood is highly acidic, and they have the tails that can whip you, stabbing implements along the way, the jaw.
The pharyngeal jaw.
Yeah, that can
The mouth
pierce,
within a mouth.
It can pierce a human skull.
Yeah. These xenomorphs are creepy looking aliens. If you haven't looked up a xenomorph, that's Xenomorph.
Yeah.
And the xenomorphs are terrifying.
Now, they've been defeated,
Many times.
and I'm assuming we're probably in space, even though they've been on Earth.
Yeah.
Right?
I
So
think we're in space.
there's an airlock. An airlock will help us
Yes.
in this way.
Well, they're susceptible to extreme heat. They're susceptible to extreme cold. Fire-based weapons work well against them. Long-range attacks. They do not have a long-range attack. So if you can get a long-range attack somehow, you got the advantage. Gas has killed them. Decompression, air pressure. They can die.
I urge everyone to play a game called Alien Isolation, because it's about a 12-hour experience where you are hunted by one xenomorph, and you play hide and seek.
Blah.
You're hiding in lockers, you're hiding under tables, beds, whatever. And it hunts
12
you.
hours?
Yeah, it hunts you the entire time. It's one of the scariest, most tense games I've ever played, and I would be a goner. Like, there are not enough hiding places. Maybe I'd try to hide somewhere and get food storage. But then even then, an alien will find you and want to create other aliens with your body.
Now, the facehuggers, they're not here, are they? Because it's just the xenomorph.
I think there's a facehugger around. But the xenomorph is hunting. The facehugger, if you get into its territory, you kind of have to go to the egg in order to be impregnated.
Are we saying the queen is the xenomorph we're fighting?
No, it's the first alien xenomorph. It's just one, but it's horrible. I'm toast.
Okay. I think I could manage with a fire-based weapon. I'd do pretty well. I'd shoot it at it. It would be fine. It'd get away because it doesn't like fire.
Yeah.
I think I'd be able to, as terrifying as facehuggers are to me, like that's one of my worst fears.
Oh, I get it.
And I think I might be able to keep it off my face and keep away from that, which is great. The problem is the tail, Kent.
Yeah, the tail.
That part in the movie when they're talking, I'm not going to say, but two characters are talking, and all of a sudden the tail just like up through the chest.
Yep.
So fast, so deadly. I am terrified of that tail, and I think that's how I'd go down.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying I am toast. I can't make it out past the Xenomorph.
I'm John Hurt in this situation. Oh. Yeah. No, I'm so done.
Yeah.
It's no contest.
They're so scary.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, probably my favorite, creature monster
right?
in movies.
Yeah.
And as time has
such
gone
great
on,
design.
that first alien is just like it gets better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. Zach, where did we agree?
We agreed on a few, actually.
Okay.
So we could take all of us collectively.
Yeah.
We could take Annie Wilkes from Misery.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could take Jack Torrance from The Shining.
The humans.
We could take Norman Bates.
Yep.
From
Yeah.
Psycho.
Yeah.
Interestingly, we all would survive, but barely, with Leatherface.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with
All
that.
of us. And side note, kind of funny, the only one of each comes from Hannibal Lecter.
So Hannibal Lecter, we each had different opinions of how we
Yeah,
do.
one of each.
1, 2, and 3.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And we are toast. All of us are toast with Freddy Krueger, Pinhead, The Thing, and the Xenomorph.
Okay.
Wow, not Jason or Michael Myers?
I survived.
Huh.
Nope, can't survive.
Oh, man. So there you go. I was going to say that's how we think we would fare against each of these villains and creatures. We want to know how you would do against each one of these. Please play along. We love it when you do it with 7 tier 1s, 7 tier 2s, and 7 tier 3s. And let us know on Facebook. Let us know on Instagram. Let us know on Twitter because we want to hear how you would do. But before we go, we'd like to give some love to our patrons, those that keep the spooky lights on here in the Bacon Cave during the month of October, including Taylor Sanderson, Some Guy, Sir and Madam Hicks, Shannon West, Scott, you know what's really scary? Neil Diamond and his alien fetish Sprague, Ryan and Marley, Rocky and Steph, Lady Terry A. Finley, Juice the Cooler King Swallow, Jennifer Kokowski, Casey Cummings, Angela Potts, and Adam and Rachel Crump. And then we have our Bacon Council, which includes the other Brit, Johnny English, the one, the only Chris Anderson, Stephen, everyone's favorite Ross, Star Wars expert Kyler, our favorite couple, the Ghost Faces, Nicole D. Kale, Her Royal Highness Jessica Terry, Glowclin Daniel, Debbie Foster, and Beaker.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you, patrons. You are the M3 to our Egan.
Yep.
But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter. You can find me performing at Quickwits. You perform at the Midvale Performing Arts Center and the studio at the Parker Theater. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quickwits Facebook page.
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Kenny3DD. You can read my movie reviews at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
If you'd like to connect with me, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Tumbling Mustard. But more importantly, make sure you're following Baconsale. Please like that Facebook page and then go to @Baconsale on Twitter and Instagram. After you've done that, go to tpublic.com/Baconsale where you can get yourself some merch. And then if you like what's going on here and you want to support us further, visit patreon.com/Baconsale. Support starts at just $3 a month and you can get access to all sorts of behind the scenes stuff. Kent and I did a movie review on the video side. That was kind of fun.
It was fun.
And then we also have, Bacon Bits where we try Mountain Dew every once in a while. Kind of fun. Patreon.com/Baconsale.
So until next time.
Congratulations, Baconsale. You are still alive. Most people are so ungrateful to be alive. But not you. Not anymore.
I ended up with a scorpion in my pants with me. My irrational fear? Being serial killed. I'm from West Valley, dude.
I may say certain words like cockadoodie.
I will be toast from the hospital bills.
Oh yeah, he's totally fragile. Let him in your house. You can kill him.
Dracula, are you your own publicist?
Yes, I am.
How did Dracula get Russian?
It's a Romanian. It's very close.
Very cool.
Oh, I'm going to get seduced by Dracula. This will give me diabetes. You want to let me in?
No. It's my tent. Zip.
Are you a dream warrior?
In my dreams, I'm beautiful, Ken.
There's a reason Freddy didn't attack people during COVID time.
Yes, exactly. He kind of laid low for a while.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to feed me after midnight.
No,
Like-
you're too chewy.
Wait, I'm too chewy?
You're like a chicken wing without enough meat. Oh, what is this? Wingstop?
Your face is eaten. I can't even hear you right now.
Joel's a nice Sunday dinner, I think.
In order to live, or if I'm just really hungry, you'd be surprised what I do.
Hey, Jigsaw, can we get a hint?
I think I have manners.
Guys, once again, I'm the final girl here.
You're going to put on like a Judith Myers wig?
Guys, I'm pure.
Kent woke up in Joe's Activia. We're not pretty girls.
Kent, he's going to appear as commitment to you.
I think I might fear myself more than anything.
That got real deep.
Can't be buddies with every killer.
I've accidentally killed all my friends.
No, the problem is, Kent, I'm too trusting. You'd be like, Joel, it's me. And I'd be like, oh, hey, Kent.
Joel, are you okay?
Stab.
You're losing.
Put me down.